This weekend, thousands of bikers will be raising awareness and also money to help fight MS. Angela joins us now with more on this event and more on one rider's inspirational story, powerful story too. Angela.
Yes, 20, 30, 40 years ago, multiple sclerosis was a devastating disease to face. It often left patients paralyzed, but thanks to advances in medicine, people are now living productive lives despite the diagnosis. In fact, several of them will be participating in this weekend's Bike MS. Upwards of 2,000 cyclists will hit the road, and among them, one very special lady with a special gift she will never take for granted.
Being on a bike is where I feel most at home.
The U.S. team of Inga Thompson, Eve Stevenson, Phyllis Hines, and Maureen Manley finished second behind the Dutch team.
What does it feel like to be at the top of your game?
Now, this event requires an all-out effort.
To be one of the best in the world, only to lose it all, and then some.
And I was so proud when I first got to wear this.
Maureen Manley is a two-time U.S. national cycling champion and three-time World's team member. Her face has been on cereal boxes, Sports Illustrated, placemats.
You might notice this character here is Lance Armstrong. There's Lance, and I guess I was one to watch too.
Like Lance, Maureen competed in the Tour de France, the 1991 women's race. Not only was she keeping pace with the leaders, she was setting herself up beautifully for the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona, Spain. Now, other than becoming overheated and a bit fatigued, all was going well until her vision started to get blurry.
When it hit hard.
And so did she. Maureen crashed after her sight eventually disappeared.
And it did come back after my body temperature came down, but, at that time I was laying on the side of the road of France, all scraped up. And it was then that I knew that, I have to accept that there's something very wrong here and I need to go back home and get it checked out.
On September 24th, 1991, Maureen was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The disease causes antibodies found in the blood to attack the central nervous system. They eat away at the protective coatings surrounding the brain and the spinal cord, making it difficult for the electrical impulses to reach their intended target. Symptoms can include numbness, fatigue, motor skill, and vision loss.
And I was faltering. I could keep up and I could do it, but it just was so much harder.
But Maureen tried to keep riding. The 1992 Olympic Games were only a few months away. She tried to keep up until eventually she couldn't.
I found myself being just sad about it, and I realized I had to let it go. And I had to let it go in order to move forward.
So as gracefully as she could, the national champion and Olympic hopeful walked away from her dream-come-true career. As best she could, she faced a new fight. This had become Maureen's world. A former speed racer, now a competitor of a different kind.
I was determined to do everything I can that that I'd be better than this. There was no guarantee I was ever going to get better.
Treatments were still being tweaked in the 90s. There's no known cause or cure for MS. But thanks to advances in medicine, Maureen was able to fight back.
For me, there's no greater feeling of freedom than what I have on a bike.
She got better, and better yet, Maureen got back on her bike 12 years after diagnosis in 2003. And as she first did in 2003, Maureen will be participating in this weekend's Bike MS along with more than 40 teammates.
Dreams don't come and plop themselves on your lap. You got to go to them.
And fate, while it seems fickle, hasn't been entirely bad to Maureen. She got to be one of the best. Who's doing MS? One better. She's back on top of her world. This time, though, the podium's a bit different, a bit more special.
Being able to get my cycling career back or my cycling life back, it's a surreal experience, and I'm so deeply grateful, and it's hard to put into words how wonderful it is to be back.
So again, Maureen will join thousands of riders during Bike MS this Saturday and Sunday. It starts at the Skagit County Fairgrounds in Mount Vernon, loops through Whatcom and Island counties as well. And for more on the event and how to donate, go to our website, q13fox.com.
This is one of those events and causes that's very close to your heart.
Yeah, it is. My son was diagnosed with MS over the spring, and I was thinking, like most people 20, 30, 40 years ago, it's just a devastating diagnosis to receive, and I had the visions of the absolute worst. But watching Maureen go through and overcome what she did, when I see that video of her wobbling when she was in the low point of her disease, I well up every time, but not because I feel sorry for her, but because she was able to fight back.
That's right.
And thanks to the advances in treatments and to events like Bike MS, we're raising money to help fight this disease and hopefully someday find a cure.
And
So
when you see video like that and you
it's
see the
powerful.
results,
it speaks for itself. It really does. For those who thought MS was just a death sentence or a prison sentence, it is no more. People are surviving and living productive lives now, thanks to all of the research dollars raised and advances made.
Yeah.
all right. Angela,
Thank you,
thank you very
Angela.
much.